Welcome to the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Helping you level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of confident live video.
Optimize your mindset and communication and increase your confidence in front of the camera.
Get confident with the tech and gear.
And get confident with the content and marketing.
Together, we can go live!
Well, hello, Ian Anderson Gray here for episode 205 of the Confident Live Marketing Show. In today's episode, it's going to be a shorter episode today. We're going to be delving into the realms of tools, my favorite tools for this year. But because there are so many, I'm just going to be looking at focusing on a few different categories of tools today. We're going to be looking at visual and audio content tools and maybe some social media ones as well. See how we get on, because so much to look into. And one of my favorite tools that I've been working on recently or looking at and using is Adobe Express. Adobe Express is so cool because they've just been adding some new features from the world of AI. And I had the privilege of beta testing their Adobe Firefly, which is their image-based AI tool. It's just so cool. And so let's have a look at it now. If you go to iag.me/go/Adobe Express, is that right? I'm just going to double check that. iag.me/go/Adobe Express. I think that is the one. You'll get this. Now, the beta is at a different address, but you'll be able to, if you go here, you'll be able to see this and play around with it because it is public. And if you're listening in the future, it might already be the new version. So there's so much cool stuff here. First of all, to say Adobe Express is a visual content creation tool. So it helps you create images, it helps you create videos for social, but for lots of places as well, and even print media as well. So right at the top, we can see we've got for you, we've got social media. It's broken into different categories like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest. You can also play around with photos. I'll come on to the AI in a minute. Documents. So you've got the capability of playing around with PDFs in here as well. Marketing. And of course, you've got generative AI. With the new version of Adobe Express, it's so much easier to collaborate with other people, whether it's a team, like an internal team, you might be working with virtual assistants, or maybe you have clients. You can now share your creations, or some people can, like a designer can share their creations, and you can collaborate with each other and you can move things around and comment and stuff like that. I'm not going to show you that today, but I've created a video on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, Ian Anderson Gray, you can find out all about that. Now, the generative AI stuff is really cool because you can now just put in some text, basically create a prompt, and it will come up with some stuff. I'm massively into Lord of the Rings, so I'm going to ask it to create mysterious hobbit hole house near the woods at night with an owl in the trees. That might be a bit specific, but let's see what that comes up with. So I'm generating that. What this is doing is it's pinging a request over to Adobe Firefly, and then the artificial intelligence is coming up with the image, and it's come up with it now. And that is pretty cool. So obviously, if you listen to the podcast, you won't be able to see this, but it is a mysterious wood, and it is pretty much like a hobbit hole here. So now I might not particularly like this version, but that's okay because it's come up with 4 different versions. The second one is good. I like that. The third one, the owl is actually right on top of the house. And yeah, that's pretty good. But maybe I want to have a different idea. I might want to have, maybe I want to have a painting. I want to make this a painting, an acrylic painting idea. So let's generate that again. And it's going to come up with a different style acrylic painting. And if I don't like that, I can keep on generating different things, different ideas. That is really good. Cool. So this would be good for a kid's book. If you're listening to the podcast, you need to go and watch the video here because it's really cool. So anyway, that's awesome. And then you can then add that to one of your projects in Adobe Express. I really like that. I'm going to I'm going to download that actually, I think for later. So I'm going to download that as a PNG. It's downloading that. And I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go to my stuff. And I also want to show you, I've got all these graphics. So I've already added my brand, and in my brand, I've got my logo bug there. So I can add my logo bug, say to the top right-hand side. I can also, if I go again to, I can add, I've not actually added my fonts. So let's add my fonts. I'm going to use the Beavis New Regular as my font. And I'm going to, I like that. I like that. So let's add some text to the screen. Add some text. And this is Adventure Story, I'm going to call this. If I can spell correctly. I don't know whether I've actually... Adventure Story. And then let's change that to that font that I used earlier. So I quite like that. And I'm going to change the color to... Let's use my brand. That's good. And then let's just drag that to the top, or maybe the bottom actually. And you've even got things like text effects. I can make that glow, can make that strong, or I can even use some text effects using artificial intelligence again. So for example, I could do, I don't think this is going to look very good. I could do a disco ball. So this is going to change the text into a disco ball effect, which is really cool. So there's so many different things. I'm not showing you. Oh my goodness. That looks a little bit weird. But anyway, there you go. Adobe Express, check it out by going to iag.me/go/Adobe Express. There's so many things I haven't shown you, such as the quick actions and using PDFs as well. There's so much here. So for example, with the quick suggestions, we've got text effects, removing backgrounds, generating QR codes, animate from audio, which is actually something I haven't played around with yet. So you can make an animated character with your own voice, which I definitely want to check out. So there's so much stuff there. Do check it out. I am a brand ambassador for Adobe Express, but all the views that I give on this channel are my own. I'm a big fan. I've always used Adobe Express since it came out. Definitely check that out. What else have we got as well as that? So much stuff to talk about. In Adobe Express, you have all those, you have the Adobe stock library at your disposal. But I do want to talk about another cool one, stock library called Pexels. Pexels is really cool because it's not just got photos, you've also got videos, and they're all free to use. These are royalty-free images. So for example, I can just man with laptop. Let's just put that in, man with laptop, and it will come up with images of a man with laptop. But maybe I want to find some videos. And I've now got some videos of man with laptop, or woman. I can change that to woman with laptop. And these are great. So these are great for creating, if you're creating YouTube videos or that type of thing. So yeah, I really love that. Is Pexels. And when you're creating websites, JPEGs are great for images, but for photos, sorry. But if you're using logos, then PNG format images are great. And the problem with that is that PNG images can end up becoming just really massive in size, and they can slow down your website. tinypng.com is where I go to for this. Now, I know Adobe Express has some of these features in, but if you're just wanting a quick and easy website app that does this, then all you need to do is just drag your PNG into this, and it will drastically reduce the size of the image without affecting the way it looks. So you can sometimes go from 2 or 3 megabytes down to 100K, which is absolutely nuts. So that is tinypng. Okay, next one we're going to talk about is Ecamm Live, and I'm using Ecamm Live to create this video. Now, it's a live video tool primarily, but you don't have to use it as a live video. I'm actually pre-recording this for many reasons. I'll talk about my reasons for not going live another time, but it's not fit. I don't want you to think that Ecamm Live is all about just streaming, because it's all about recording. It's also about upping your game with Zoom presentations and webinars and things like that. So Ecamm Live is amazing. They've currently got a big offer at the moment, 30% off. All you need to do is go to iag.me/ecamm. That's iag.me/ecamm. And then they've got a big deal there 30% off if you buy this summer. So Ecamm Live is awesome. I've talked about Ecamm Live so many times in the past. Now, Ecamm Live also now, the new version has multi-streaming. So if you've got a powerful enough computer, you can multi-stream to different destinations, for example, Facebook and YouTube at the same time. However, you do need to have a powerful computer and powerful internet for that. This is why I love Restream. And Restream and Ecamm Live work really well together. So if you're just streaming and you've got a computer that can deal with it, and you've also got a decent internet speed, then you might not need Restream. However, I want to talk about what Restream has, because it has the studio facility, multi-streaming, upload and stream, chat, and lots more stuff. It's got analytics as well. So the studio is a web-based live streaming tool. So you don't have to download anything. It's really simple. You can bring in guests very easily. You can also stream to your guests' channels in a service called Restream Pairs. That is pretty awesome. I was helping out with the big live stream that we did to promote the book, The Most Amazing Marketing Book Ever. There you go, the most amazing marketing book ever. I'm holding it up. And for that, we went live over a 24-hour period. And we had all the authors, or a lot of the authors from the book on that. And we were able to, just by sending the guests a link, they were able to add their channels, and we were able to broadcast it to lots more channels through Restream. So the studio is cool. You've got this ability to multi-stream to lots of different places all at the same time. They've got about 30 different destinations, including many ones that you won't have heard of as well. But you've also got the ability to upload a video and stream that live. And that's what I'm actually using for this. If you are watching this live, this is a pre-recorded video. I've edited it, and then I've uploaded it into Restream, and then it's broadcasting this live to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So you don't necessarily need to go live. Personally, I think going live is great, and you should only use the streaming of pre-recorded videos minimally. I'm using that a lot at the moment, but that's just for reasons I'll talk about later. You've also got this chat facility. So this is baked into Restream Studio, but it also links in with Ecamm. So if you're linking it in with Ecamm, you can see all the chat from Restream on all those different channels in Ecamm as well. And you've got analytics. So Restream is cool. You can use it with the studio, or you can use it with other tools like OBS, with Wirecast, with Ecamm Live. It is really cool. So that is Restream. Now, the next tool that I wanted to talk about is a Mac-only tool, and it's called ScreenFlow. Now, if you're a PC user, the tool that I'd recommend here is called Camtasia. So the ScreenFlow is basically, it records your screen, and it's great if you're wanting to create a tutorial. I use it for basically all my courses that I create, but I even use it to edit videos. So I'm an Amazon influencer. I actually use ScreenFlow as my video editing tool. I do have the professional stuff up there. I've got Adobe Premiere Pro. I've also got, what's the one for Mac? I've even forgot what it's called. Final Cut Pro. I've got those, but I keep on coming back to ScreenFlow because it's just so simple, and you can do so much with ScreenFlow. So if you're a Mac user, ScreenFlow. If you're a PC user, the alternative is Camtasia. Camtasia is also available for Mac, but I personally really ScreenFlow. It is really cool. Now, the next one is Descript, and I use Descript for editing this podcast. So I use ScreenFlow for a lot of stuff, but for this podcast, I use Descript because you can just drag and drop your video or your audio into Descript. It will transcribe that into text, and then you can edit the video or the audio just by editing the text. You can get rid of filler words, ums and ers. You can do so many cool things with it. It is amazing. I'm only talking a little bit briefly about it, but if you're wanting to repurpose, if you're wanting to create lots of video snippets, Descript is the tool for you. It is pretty cool. Okay, podcasting. If you want a podcast host, the host that I use is Captivate FM. I was actually their first ever customer. They haven't quite released it yet, but I was looking for a podcast host. And Mark Asquith, who I'm good friends with, he's the founder of Captivate. He said, why don't you just try my hosting? And it is just, I've used a lot and I've looked into this a lot, but a thing I love about Captivate is it offers this sweet spot between ease of use and power. And it's very much focusing on how to manage, grow, and monetize your podcast. So not only has it got amazing analytics in there, it's also got the ability to add ads at the beginning and the end and to manage those. And in the middle as well, you can add them really easily. Love Captivate FM. You can find that out at iag.me/Captivate. Now, if you have a podcast, it's really difficult to see how you're doing in terms of the growth and how you are ranked on Apple Podcasts and also reviews as well, because I don't know why Apple do this, but if somebody leaves a review and they're in the UK, it will only appear on Apple Podcasts in the UK. So if you're in the US, you won't see that, and vice versa. And so what Pod Status does, and there's a few different tools that do this, but I really love Pod Status because it's very good value for money, is it will allow you to track the progress of your podcast, but it will also show you reviews from all the different countries in there. It is really cool. Oh, there's my friend Phil Pallen on there. That's really cool. Yeah, really cool. Podstatus.com. And of course, the other tool, which this is completely free, is podchaser.com. And it's billed as the IMDb of the podcasting world. It basically, it shows you all the podcasts that you like. But in terms of, so I can see here, if I click on my name, I have all the podcasts that I've been a guest on. So I can see there's Idea Time Innovation with Dr. Joe North. Been on the Christian CEO podcast with Kelly Barder. Let's Talk Money and More with Leslie Thomas. We've got a live stream backstage with Alec Johnson. I've been a guest on all of those, and I add all mine on here. So for example, if I click on the Confident Live Marketing Show, I can see there are 227 episodes here. I can see all the guests on the show. There should be loads more than that. Yeah, it's just taking a bit of time, so I can see all my previous guests. So this is great. If you are a podcaster, your podcast might already be on Podchaser, but you can go in there and claim it. It's really cool. Awesome. We are almost out of time, but I did want to talk about some tools to do with content and social. Now, the tool that I use, and I've talked about loads, is Agora Pulse. Agora Pulse is a social media management tool, so it helps you manage Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, not Pinterest, but hopefully Pinterest is coming, Instagram, TikTok. It helps you publish and schedule, and it helps you manage messages and social replies, mentions, and all that kind of stuff. And it also has analytics and reports. There is a free version of this. The price, so at first glance, it might look expensive, but actually the price of their cheapest one is really good value for money when you compare with the likes of Hootsuite and Sprout Social. And even if you compare with some cheaper ones out there like Buffer and Social Champ, remember this is a social media management tool, so it has everything in there. It doesn't just allow you to post and schedule. It also has the social inbox, analytics, reporting, all those kind of things baked in. And they've also now got an AI-powered writing assistant as well. So if you're wanting to create copy for ads or a social post, organic social posts, you can do that as well. So if you want to find out more about that, go to iag.me/Agora Pulse, iag.me/Agora Pulse. It is awesome. Okay, next few tools to talk about. There's BuzzSumo. And I've not talked about BuzzSumo for ages, but I love BuzzSumo because if you are creating content, whether it's videos or blog posts, you want to do the research. What type of posts are doing really well? So you do a search for the type of content that you're wanting to create, and then it will come up with all the most shared posts out there. What is being shared the most? Because from a social point of view, sharing is the most valuable, because if people really like it, they might like it, but if they really like it, they might share it out. So BuzzSumo is awesome, buzzsumo.com. And then of course you've got Grammarly as well. I'm just going to sign out, but you've got, they've got a free version of this. And Grammarly is basically, it helps you It corrects your grammar and helps you write better. It's AI driven. I love Grammarly. It is really cool. And then we've got SEMrush. I always used to call it SEMrush, search engine marketing, but it is pronounced SEMrush. If you are interested in growing your website and increasing the SEO optimization, then SEMrush is for you. One more to talk about, and that is brand24.com. This is a social listening and monitoring tool. So if you want to make sure that you are finding out when people mention you, then you want to check out Brand24. It is pretty cool. Brand24.com. And that is it. I'm not going to go on anymore, but Brand24 was the final one. I will do another episode talking about different tools, I think. It would be really cool. But that is it for this week. Until next time, when we've got the return of Frank Pendergrast on the show. Looking forward to that. But until next time, I encourage you to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of confident live video. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Make sure you subscribe at iag.me/podcast so you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video.
And until next time,
Toodaloo.